Welcome to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Pace Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 210210, baby. I am Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, Mr. Talk to People, joined by my man, my brother, Pace Morby, Mr. Sub 2.
What
Sub
up?
Dizzle. What's up, brother?
Life is good, man. Life is really good. Enjoying the Phoenix weather, enjoying all the things that are going on in this amazing, beautiful world of ours. How's business going for you, brother? We can talk about some wholesale today or what?
Yeah, let's talk some wholesale. It's the fastest start, and I was just talking here before the show. It's the fastest quarter that we've ever had in my business, and I think it's just a perfect combination, right? You've got interest rates, which have effectively kind of stabilized. You've got more investors coming back into the market over the last 6, 7, 8 months. And they look at a fresh, crispy new 2024 and they have big goals, right? They want to flip 25 properties. They want to flip 30 properties. And they're just looking for inventory. If you look at the market and you take all and anybody can do this, you could do this on realtor.com. But if you take all of the active listings in your marketplace, and then you go to realtor.com and you remove the pending or under contract, you're going to get a smaller number. All right. And if you take those numbers and you take the active listings and you divide them by the pending listings, you will see how many months of inventory are in your marketplace. And if you're less than 3 months of inventory, you are in a seller's market. You are in a market where there's not enough supply to meet the demand. That means that you can be more aggressive with your offers and you can go out and find really great opportunities. So if anybody has questions about that, put it in the chat. We'll make sure that we break it down. But strong mindset. I think that I had a show last week, Pace, and I was talking about mindset because it's so critical as an entrepreneur. And the number one thought that I always have on mindset is the better your skills, the more confident you are. And the more confident you are, the more action you will take. Because you're going to be focused. You're going to know the outcome. You're going to have a pretty good idea of what the outcome is because of the skills and experience that you have. And how do you get experience as a real estate entrepreneur, Pace?
Taking action and squatting up with other people that are a couple of steps ahead of you. I was just talking to Eric Ballman, my camera guy, who runs a lot of the videos that you guys see on social media, YouTube, etc. Eric has done about 25 deals in the last 6 months. How did he do them all? He did them. He's been with me for 2 years, a little over 2 years, 2.5 years. But how did he, in the last 6 months, finally do 25 deals in the last 6 months? Here's how. One, Brent just said it, mindset. The first year and a half that he worked for me, he had what we call imposter syndrome. He said, well, I can't do deals because I'm just a camera guy. I can't do deals. I'm just a camera guy. I'm the guy behind the camera. And I would say stuff like, bro, you need to get your first deal. You need to get your first deal. You need to get your first deal. It wasn't until he had his mindset right that he actually reached out into one of our groups in the community and said, I need help. I want to do my first deal. I'm sick of being with Pace every day. Can somebody help me? And what it was somebody else in the community that said, you don't have experience, but I do. Let's lock arm in arm and let's go JV on a deal. And he did 25 deals with other people. All 100% of his first 25 deals have been JV deals with other people in the community. So when you start saying, well, how do I do it if I have no experience, I have no confidence, I have no momentum, I have no nothing, squat up.
Yep.
In TTP, in Astro, Sub 2, Gator, squat up with other people, okay, and work with other people. That is the fastest way to success. It's the same thing with doing anything. You want to learn how to frame a house? Go stand next to a framer who's framing a house.
That's it.
Don't read it in a book. Now, you might be inspired by a YouTube video. You might be inspired by a book. You might be inspired by a seminar. But at the end of the day, if you're not standing next to somebody or being around people that are actively doing the business, you're going to have a hard time taking any sort of action.
Yeah, it's all theory at that point. You know what I mean? It's just theory if you're around people that talk about what should happen. It's like being around a professor at a university that just stays in the university. You know what I mean? They never go out and build a business or whatever else that they are teaching. You know what I mean? It's great, and education's great, but instruction's a lot better.
Yeah, 100%.
Instruction gets us paid.
Yes.
You know, I also have here written down, Pace, remove drama quickly.
What do you mean by that?
To keep a strong mindset, number one is to increase your skills, to increase your confidence. Number two is to remove drama quickly. The number one expense you have as an entrepreneur, it's not marketing, it's not operations, it's not personnel, it is your emotions. Your emotions are the biggest expense that you have as an entrepreneur. It's the absolute fact. And so you got to remove the drama quickly. You're going to have tough days. There's going to be deals that fall out. You're going to get a letter in the mail from an HOA that says you can't rent this property. You can't do this. You're going to get complaints from neighbors. You're going to get sellers that want to back out on you. You're going to have buyers that are going to try to snake your deal. You're going to have contractors that don't show up and take all your money. Things are going to happen. How do you respond? Remove the drama quickly.
I love that so much. And I'll tell you specifically, last night I wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning, worried and stressed out about certain things that are going on inside of my business. Like I always do, right? There's a big project. There's a refinance going on. There's a thing happening. There's a new employee that's causing issues. We got to refire it. 1,000 things going on. There might be a vendor that we're using that's not doing their job. A lot of things. And all of those things, by the way, are things I woke up this morning thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the thought, I was like, man, I am really investing my time and energy into this thing. No wonder I can't sleep at night. So I literally made the decision to choose to change my thought process and go, let's work on manifesting in a positive way, right? Because you're investing your time in one place or the other. You cannot do two things at the same time. And so what I did is I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to think positively and count from 100 down to 1 in backwards so I can fall asleep.
Yep.
What's amazing about the human brain is it cannot focus on two things at once. And I could not think about positive things and count down from 100. I could not do it. It was so hard to be able to laying there going, okay, 100, 99, 98, and also thinking about manifestation. So I chose manifestation, and ultimately I fell back asleep because I felt soothed. I felt peace. I felt all of this stuff, knowing that, guys, there's going to be 1,000 worries in your business. No matter how big you get, know how much money you make, you'll always worry about that. How are you allocating and spending your brain power? I freaking love that. Remove drama as quick as possible. I love that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, and especially, listen, you know, I think that this is really important. If you're the face of your company, if you're going out and you're starting out and you're meeting with the property owners and you're doing a lot of follow-up on the phone and you're doing the acquisition part, right? There's 3 parts to your real estate business: lead generation, acquisitions, and or conversion of those into a signed agreement, and then exit strategy, right? And if you're in charge of that, as most of us are when we're starting out, it is 100% a position that you can't just go into all funky, because you will screw up the calls, you'll screw up the day. If your mindset is not strong, you are not going to convert those deals. You're just not going to convert those deals. It's going to throw you off. It's the conversion part of that business that is so critical to how your mindset is that day. So you got to really surround yourself with incredible podcasts, incredible people, incredible things that you're always, whatever you're taking into your brain all the time has to be positive. Books, Audible, YouTube, whatever it is, it has to be really, really, really positive so that you can keep a really strong mindset. And the people that protect their mindset with really positive, optimistic, uplifting things are the ones that win faster.
Yeah. And I don't know if you have anything like on your list, but victimhood mentality is part of that drama. And
Sure.
It's amazing. I'll get people that reach out to me. They'll say stuff like, I mean, you guys can only imagine the DMs we get. I can't, I could go on for hours talking about the DMs. You'll get some DMs from people going, hey, I've made a lot of really bad decisions in my life. I'm currently homeless. I'm living in a car. I realize and understand that this is all my doing. I'm wondering if you have a pathway or some steps that I should follow. That's somebody who's taking accountability and not being a victim.
Yep.
Then you'll get another person that will seriously DM me 2 minutes later, and they'll say, nobody wants to help me. I've been asking for help, but nobody wants to help me. And nobody wants to help me. Nobody wants to help me. And you're like, I'm like, okay, yeah. When you start your conversation off that way, you're right. I do not want to help you. In fact, I want to block you. I don't want that energy in my life. I need to keep that away from me. I just got done listening to a Jim Rohn speech, and I'm all on cloud nine, and you DM me and you say nobody wants to help me, and you then are entitled somehow to my time.
Yeah, it's like that weird thing, right, Pace? Like, I don't know if this generation felt it, but in the older generation, it was like, don't go up and compliment the beautiful girl. Go up and kind of make her feel like small. You know what I mean? Kind of reverse engineer the conversation so that you could have the power, because they're not used to that. They get so many compliments. They're not used to that. It's like people are like, let me hit him with the, you probably won't even respond to this.
Oh,
you know, it's like a reversal of like, you know what I mean? It's like this weird.
I had one today. It was so good.
Gross psychological. Maybe it used to work when we were like dumber humans. I don't know, but it's like that's not the right approach.
Yeah,
in anything.
This one's so good, dude. I had a DM today. Okay. So right here. Okay, the guy's name is the_minority03. Okay, he sent me this DM at 11:43 a.m. What I did over the weekend is I just saw a lot of people talking about private money online.
Yeah.
Like you need to, and it's like, you need to buy a $30,000 raising capital thing. You need to do a $15,000 raising capital thing. I'm like, you know what? Let me just show you. I will give you my private money lenders in my DMs.
Yep.
And so I said, hey, I'm going to give you one private money lender that's given me 800 grand once, $500,000 a second time. She's deploying another 300 grand in one of my deals. I will give you her name. You can go and DM her. So I do that. It goes wild. People are like, give us more. And I go, okay, I'll give you 4 more. So I gave them 4 more people's names in the DMs. Like, here's the names. You can go and reach out to them. This guy replies back to me. He says, doesn't seem accurate or true. You're releasing multimillionaires information for free, potentially without their approval on social media where close to 2 million people, blah, blah, blah. You're such a bullshitter. You'd be flooding your own resources with shitty DMs and hands asking for everything. Prove me wrong. And I'm like, is that literally, like, I gave you their names in the like, it's on my stories. You can tag them, see their
But they want your attention, Pace.
Exactly. So I replied back to him and I go, here's 4 more for you. I'm going to give you a gift. Show me I'm wrong. And then I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I asked the guy, goes, is this how you want your first interaction with me to be? Is you coming at me at my jugular after I've just given a gift to the industry? Guys, the entitlement and the like victimhood mentality and the whole thing of I'm going to attack people and do that whole thing. Oh my gosh. I bet you won't even reply to this type of attitude. It's repulsive, to be honest. And it's one of the reasons why people don't want to help you is because you are, I think, maybe manifesting a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is nobody wants to help me. And then you go around giving that energy out. Okay.
Yep. And I get it. I mean, maybe it was tough growing up. Maybe they didn't have great examples, but everybody could read this book. I'm just telling you, if you read this book, and I read it every week for a year, and it 3x'd my business. It really teaches you that there's a process. It's giving and receiving. It's a circular process. If you're trying to receive without giving, it doesn't work. There's a blockage there. And I think essentially that's what that is. That kind of kind of response. It's very amateurish. It's very immature-ish, I should say. Because I don't think that they know how valuable they are if they actually go out and provide value. Yeah. And some people just don't believe that they have enough value to provide. And that's what we're here to remove from our lives. I know Pace is, I know Jamil is, I know I am, is remove all of that bullshit that has been built up for so many years that you're not valuable enough or you can't provide incredible service to other people on this planet. And once you have that set as your foundation, you can really start building on top of that. Once you really feel that you're valuable. And I hope everybody does it. I hope everybody goes out there and tries to take some action and tries to solve problems, and then watch how much you can receive and receive and receive and receive. But it starts with the give. It starts with the give. And then you have to be open to receiving. Can I read you the next point I have here?
Hell yeah.
It's an interesting one about mindset. And guys, we're just warming up the show. We got 90 minutes here. We're 15 minutes into it. So make sure that you're putting your questions in the chat. Matt or Pace or myself will grab the questions in the chat so that we can keep this going. We don't have any guests. It's just Pace and I. So load us up. We'd love to answer any questions you have. Clean up your environment to clean up your mind. Does your environment,
you mean your physical environment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, clean up your environment to clean up your mind. Does your environment support the goals you have set?
Yeah. I this is a weird one. That's interesting. It's really interesting. I do this twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. I blow out the leaves from my garage, and nothing feels better all week long.
Right?
I don't know what it is. I have all these plants in my courtyard where all my cars are.
Yep.
And these leaves pour in, and I'm walking in and out of the house, and the leaves, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'll blow the leaves out. But man alive, just clearing that space and making sure that the entrance to my home is completely cleared is almost like clearing my mind, knowing that everything's been cleaned out. So I do love that. I spend a couple hours a week, typically early mornings before work day starts, putting my things in order, organizing things, clearing out my inbox, doing all those kind of things. And when I fall 2-3 days behind on my inbox, I feel like there's a mental clog in everything I'm trying to accomplish.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I think it's just important. Open up your windows, open up, get some light in, stand up, move around. It all matters. Right. Yeah. And clean up your space. Everything should be put away. Everything should be respected. It's not just something that if you have a cluttered space, it'll lead to a cluttered mind, in my experience.
Right.
And so I think it's one of those things that you often don't think about, but your car, your office, your inbox, your whatever, your mail, your house, everything, just clean it up, and you're going to feel fantastic. And then all of a sudden it's just like an open field. Right. And so does your environment.
Taxes are another one too. Like your physical, that was a tough one. Bookkeeping for me.
Oh my gosh.
Bookkeeping was a really big one for me, where I would avoid it at all costs and would just stack up months and months and months. And then I realized that I was taking such little action because I was afraid of continually piling on top of it. And so subconsciously I was self-sabotaging myself to not do more business because I was worried about falling even further behind on bookkeeping. So bookkeeping is another one of those things you got to clean up to make sure you
every time you use your debit card, every time you write a check, every time you receive a check. It's bananas. Every time that you get gas from, if you put it on your business. I mean, that's a huge one. That's something that doesn't get talked enough about is bookkeeping. I'm telling you, man, once you get going, and I get it, you could kind of float this for a little bit, but once you are responsible and in charge of the financial lives of other people that you bring onto your team, you better have your ducks in a row for sure.
Yeah, a really great book to read for that is Profit First for Real Estate Investors. Really great book. Awesome. David Richter wrote. I would go get that. Profit First for Real Estate Investors. This was one of the many things that Brent Daniels gave to me, was pay yourself first, separate things out. This was probably 5 years ago that I took it way more seriously.
Yep.
Tony Counts, who you actually introduced me to roughly 5 years ago, still today is my bookkeeper.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
The greatest bookkeeper name of all time.
I'm like, you changed your name to Counts, didn't you?
Right.
And what's funny is Molly manages all of my tenants and my assets, and her last name is Tenant.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, people coming to my company like, you guys just change your names to appropriate to.
Could you imagine if you made them do that?
Oh, sorry.
They're all under
positions. You gotta change your name again.
They're all hypnotized. That's hilarious. That's great. You hit it on the head. We become who we associate with. Guys, that's the people that we're around. That's also the things that you listen to, the things that you watch, the things that influence you are going to have an effect on you. So there are definitely indirect associations definitely indirect associations. So just, watch what you're putting into your brain. Everybody else can be super entertainment and they could be on top and really know everything that's in the culture, so to speak. But I know the best entrepreneurs, the best entrepreneurs that I know have no idea what's going on. They have they don't know who's winning the Oscars. They don't know what the latest drop was of shoes or music or clothes or whatever else. They're just busy serving. They're just busy building a machine that serves human beings. And for that, they get rewarded with income. And then they can go bananas and their kids can spend it.
Yeah, it is interesting how all of our best friends just get obsessed with their purpose and their mission, that they forget about everything else. And people that are obsessed want to hang out with other people that are obsessed because we're the only ones that actually truly understand each other.
Yep.
And you'll get people that go, man, take a break, slow down. What are you doing? Why are you doing all this stuff? I'm like, dude, once I found wholesaling, once I found fixing and flipping, once I found buying, holding, once I found all these things that basically we talk about on the show, I realized that this was the greatest vacation of all time, was just focusing on the thing I was obsessed with. I don't ever feel like I work. Yep. I don't ever feel like I'm slaving away. Even though I'm physically active a lot of the day, there's a mission that we're all trying to accomplish. We get obsessed with it. And somebody brought up the Oscars to me today. I was like, oh, the Oscars happened this year? Oh, that's cool.
No idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's cool. Anyway, the last one. You ready? Mm-hmm. Spend less time comparing yourself to others and more time comparing yourself to your business plan.
I love that one. Somebody told me the other day, they said, imagine you're driving down the freeway going the speed limit and somebody drives by you 15 miles an hour faster than you. Mm-hmm. We have this physical need to go, wait, hold on. I'm not going fast enough. I need to catch up to their speed. When you don't realize that person's just late for an appointment. Like, they're late. There's a high likelihood that they're going to die. They're going to crash out. They're going to burn out. They're going to get a ticket, whatever else. Like, stop comparing yourself to somebody that's so-called blazing you by. You are on your way to your destination on time. You might even be early to your destination, yet you have this need to compare yourself to the person blazing by you that is actually late to their appointment. Yep. So do not compare yourself, right? What do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy.
That's right. Also, the seed of greatness is the flip side of that saying. Or the continuation of that saying. But I would say, compare yourself to what you put down. What's your business plan? How many people actually have a business plan? How many people actually track where their deals come from? How many people actually sit down every single year and have a living, breathing business plan that you can compare your results to? It doesn't matter what Pace is doing. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. What are you doing compared to what your goal is?
Yeah.
Our goals are not going to get you paid, right? That like we have to work on that. We have to have an action plan. Every business Pace. You think Apple has a business plan?
Yes.
You think that Tesla has a business plan?
Yes.
You think everybody governments have business plans. Everybody has a business plan except for real estate entrepreneurs. And we're just like, I'm going to just make some money, bro. I'm going to make some money. I'm going to buy some watches and it's going to be nice. I'm going to eat steaks. I'm going to eat nice steaks and I'm going to show everybody the nice steaks I'm eating.
No, Kat, what's the steakhouse everybody likes? Mastro's. I'm going to Mastro's. Give me the nice steaks. I also have never met somebody in real estate that has the same identical business plan as anybody else. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Have you ever you and I have been in masterminds together. In fact, you and I have been in 2, Go Giver, Family Mastermind, maybe some other ones as well. I have literally never met somebody that's like, oh my gosh, Pace, we have the same business plan.
That's crazy.
I think it's only when you're brand new, you assume everybody's trying to do the same thing.
Yep.
They're not. They have different numbers, different goals, different aspirations, different parts of the country. They have different resources, different mindset. Guys, you have to create your own mindset around your own specific business plan.
Everybody's got a different schedule, first off, okay? Everybody's got different experience levels. Everybody's got different budgets and everybody has different markets that they're going after. So what are we doing? Everything is customized. And the beautiful thing is, if you sit down for like an hour or 90 minutes and put together a business plan where you really write out what your goals are, how many people do you actually have to speak to this year about real estate to hit your financial goal? You can get all the way down to that based on last year's results, based on some assumptions, and then it's just changes week by week by week, but you track it. You track it and you build a business plan around it. What most people are doing is they're just going out, they see something, they're inspired, they see somebody doing it, they get a mentor, they're doing it, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I heard this person on a podcast. They got a deal in 2 weeks. I saw this other person. They got 100 doors in their first year. Like all these other things. Why isn't this happening to me? What is your business plan to make that happen?
Yeah. Eric Ballman, right? My camera guy, again, I'll bring this up. I just hung out with him for the last 8 hours. We refilming a bunch of training, and I said, hey, let's have you do one of the videos. He's like, what video do you want me to do? And I go, let's talk about how you started. You had nothing but a phone and access to the community. That's all you had. And the reason being is I had somebody emailed me a week ago. They got my email from internet and they said, hey, Pace, my name is Bryce. I'm homeless and in a car that does not drive. I sleep in a car and I have a phone. That's all I have. And I have to make $5,000 to get myself back in a house, get my kids back into a house. How do I make $5,000? I'm like, oh, this is a great video for Eric to answer. So I go to Eric and I go, what would you do? And he says, well, my pipeline is empty right now. I'm like, interesting. Didn't you do 25 deals in the last 6 months? He goes, yeah. I go, let's have a conversation. What were the activities you did to do those 25 deals? And we started writing them down. I reached out to this many people in the group. I communicated with this many people. I had this many meetings. I went to this many meetups. I asked this many questions. We started laying it all out. And I go, okay, let's talk about what you've done in the last 30 days. I haven't done any of those things. I'm like, interesting. So what were you thinking? He's like, honestly, I just thought that it would, like, I went back to my old habits. I went back to my old habits. I go, okay, let's create a business plan. What do you want to do this year? You want to do 50 deals? Okay, let's take those numbers that you already know are appropriate and let's just double those. And let's time block when you are doing those. Yep. It was amazing how basic it was. We found out an hour a day, doing about 5 activities in that hour would double what he did last year in the same amount of time. So KPIs, trackables, activities.
That's a business plan.
It's a business plan.
Matt, can you put the link in? We've got one that people can download too. My site got hacked by like a bazillion bots. Wholesalinginc.com. Our academy. So we'll put in a link here. Are you able to do that, Matt? I don't know.
Hey, while he's pulling that up, I want to just shout out. We have another marriage that has met inside of our community. Jason and Jamie. So proud of our community. It's so cool. Our community is not just doing deals together, they're making babies together, living life together, expanding families together. I also want to give a special shout out to Angie and Dom Milanazzo. You know, one thing that I would add to everybody as a daily activity is share your wins. Now, a lot of people think if I haven't gotten a deal, then I haven't won today. Meanwhile, I think a win is, what did I learn today? What are the 5 things that I did better today? What are the things I realized today? Whatever it is, share your wins. Angie and Dom Milanazzo just wired me $65,000 on a deal that I JV'd with them on. And I watched them communicate, collaborate, integrate with our community and amplify everybody. In fact, they're here today. Check it out. You can see Angie Milanazzo right there, Colorado Sub-2 Mastermind member. Unbelievable human being. And I just want to give them a special shout out. Not only have I done multiple deals with them, I've been partners with them, but I just look at how active they are. They're positive, their mindset, they're willing to give. They basically are like a recipe of everything that Brent just laid out. Okay. Super proud of you guys. And what I want to point out, while Brent has something he wants to share, make sure you are connecting with people in the side chat. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of people in the side chat today that are doing deals actively. This is a live show for a reason. It's for you guys to connect with each other, hang out with each other, and do deals with each other. Make sure you guys are connecting the side chat today.
Love it. I'm done with the mindset part. The only last part that I have is social media can be a tool. It can absolutely be an unbelievable tool in your business if you turn the camera around and you tell people you buy houses. I buy houses. I buy houses. I buy houses. If you post every single day, and I've said it on the show before, post every single day, I buy houses with whatever, you could take a picture of a book, a shoe, a phone, a wall, yourself, whatever it is, whatever you're comfortable with. I buy houses, and put your phone number. Watch what happens. And then go in and go to Facebook and go to the investor groups, go to the realtor groups, go into the community groups and start friend requesting everybody until they tell you can't friend request anymore. And then you build that up and you build that up and you build that up until you get to 5,000. And you post every single day, I buy houses. People will send you houses to buy.
Yes.
People will send you houses. But if you're in Bo, my 6-year-old, soon to be 7 this Friday. So early birthday shout out for my little man. But he kept saying NPC. NPC. Are you familiar with what an NPC is? Pace?
Yeah, not a main character, basically
non-player character, right?
Reacting to life
they're just
around
in video
them.
games, and they're just there to just kind of be programmed. You're an NPC if you're just a voyeur on social media.
Right.
Okay. If you're not using it to grow your business, you're an NPC. You're just watching everybody from like the window. You're like the creepy voyeur in the window, just looking at everybody's life, being like, oh, wow, look at what Pace is eating today. This is bananas. Listen, if that's your entertainment, love it. Great. But also turn your camera around and post once a day. I buy houses, put in your information, your phone number, DM me, whatever you want to do. I mean, we have a friend, Templeton Walker, that's been doing this for years. He did 200 deals one year, 200 deals one year from just doing this. Send me your deals. Send me your deals. Send me your deals every single day. 200 deals.
He did such a good job of this. I thought his name was Send Me Your Deals.
Right.
I went and played golf with him. I was like, bro, send me your deals. How you doing, man?
Send me your deals.
What's your name again? Like it was so frequent, and he did such a great job.
That's a strategy. I think you could do 10 deals this year from that.
I agree with that.
Wholesale deals. Real wholesale deals. Real, $10,000 to $15,000 deals in your pocket from just doing that this year. You could have a 6-figure income if you just do that this year. Watch.
Agreed.
Watch what happens. Watch how many people try to bring you money. Watch how many people want to try to buy deals from you. I mean, listen, the louder you get and you just post I buy deals, or send me your deals, or I buy houses, or I buy ugly houses, or I buy old houses, or whatever you want to do. Get creative. We have 500 creative people on the show right now. Just be creative. Just post something every single day so that people actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, I would. You brought up the seller's market, buyer's market stuff. I want to talk about one thing that I think is going to be a massive opportunity in the marketplace over the next couple of years from the wholesale perspective. Land is going to be one of the biggest things that people are going to be wholesaling to developers. It is massive. Why? New development. We are seeing an uptick in a tremendous way. Builders are coming back to the marketplace, realizing that the high interest rates are not stopping people from buying. Permits are being pulled again. You're seeing a lot of dirt being gobbled up. Guys, you can get dirt on seller finance. You can get dirt on subject to. You can get all sorts of things. Okay. You can get them on cash deals. What is happening is I have a couple of friends inside of our community, inside the sub-2 community, that all they're doing is wholesaling land. And so we'll probably bring them in and talk about what they're doing, how are they finding the deals in the next couple of weeks, bringing them as a special guest. But the marketplace, what's so fun about wholesale is no matter what the real estate market is doing, there's always an opportunity to pivot to, right?
Yep.
And right now, not pivoting, but if you're brand new and you don't have any other leads, I think starting on what is currently hot right now to give you a higher probability of success. Another one that is really, really, really hot is foreclosures. Their foreclosures have a significant, not tremendous, but have a significant uptick. So if you guys are trying to get started in real estate right now, you want to wholesale real estate, you want to fix and flip real estate, you want to buy and hold real estate, one of the things that I could guarantee you, in fact, if you did this challenge, I would take you up on this challenge. I would write a contract with you and I would take you up on this challenge. If you went out and pulled a list of pre-foreclosures in any market and you knocked 100 doors 3 times, okay? So you knock the door, you come back another day if they don't answer, you come back another day if they don't answer at a different time, and you don't get a deal, I will pay you $5,000. It is physically impossible for you.
Yeah.
Even being brand new, it is physically impossible for you not to get a deal. So when people go, where do I start? Start there. Brent Daniels, you were door knocking back in 2009, 10, 11, something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Is that a guaranteed way to go out and get a deal?
100%. Especially if you are laser focused on which stores you want to go to. The beautiful thing about getting out and about, and I'll tell you this from experience, you might see that pre-foreclosure that you can knock there, but they could have some neighbors on that street that are just destroyed, or they're vacant, or you see fire damage, or you see that the lawn's really big. You just know that it's a property that needs significant investment. And then you knock on those as well. So it's never wasted if they don't answer. And then you could leave a simple leave behind. We would have a pad of paper about this size, and it was just ugly houses, big checks. That's right. And I would just write, call me. And I put my phone number, Brent, and I wrote Brent, and I would just stick it to their door. And they're like, what is this? And people would just call because they were curious, or I'd catch them, the next time that we would go around and knock on the doors. But there's always opportunities. And then if a property's vacant, it's vacant, knock the neighbor to the left, the neighbor to the right, the 3 on the other side of the street, and just find out what's going on with that property. There's always somebody on the street that knows. There's always the gal or the old guy that knows exactly what's going on, or the young guy with the beard that always hangs out in his garage and he's keeping an eye on stuff, and he's got his American flag out, and he's just loving his neighborhood. He knows exactly what's going on in there. So yeah, you get in front of them, and it doesn't have to be something crazy. You can just go in and say, I know this is random for me to stop by, but, I'm interested in purchasing properties in the area. I wanted to see if you would consider an offer on this property.
Yeah.
Just open it up.
Brent and I did a really great foreclosure video
Training.
a couple of years back.
Yep.
That was, I think, one of the most watched videos on both your channel and my channel. It was
Yep.
called Pre-Foreclosure Mastery.
Mm-hmm.
Go and take a look at that, guys. Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of people who are going to be repelled by knocking doors, which is good. For the people that take action on door knocking, like Nita Patel in our community, she's a
awesome.
woman. Oh, she's gangster. Nita goes out. She does 4 deals a month just by herself. Now, she's just recently started building a team inside of Sub 2. She has like 4 or 5 Sub 2 students underneath her running a team. But she calls the foreclosures, calls the pre-foreclosures. When they don't answer, she knocks the door and she just has a conversation. She's like, I'm not that great. I just take action a couple of hours every day. Her entire business is ran on a yellow legal pad. She doesn't complicate it with fancy CRMs and all of these things, and she crushes it. We should have her come on Wholesale Hotline and talk about her door knocking journey. That'd be really great. Brent, good question from Lindsay here.
Yeah. Do you dispo other wholesalers' deals, or just the ones your acquisition guys get? Yeah. I mean, we'll sell any kind of deal. If you need some help, you can certainly DM me. And
what's your process for that, Brent? Let's say somebody brings you a deal.
Yeah.
What's your split? How does that work? How do you determine that? Who do people reach out in order to do a deal with you?
Well, they could reach out to me, and it just depends on the deal. Like if they want to sell it to us, that's fine. We can give them a buy price, and then we'll just add on top. If they just want to put it out and see the most that we can get for it, we might split it 50-50. It just depends on how much experience the other person has. Like because what happens, Pace, and this, inevitably we step in to get it through the finish line. We start communicating more with the seller, communicating more with the title company, communicating more with the lenders, communicating more with the buyers, certainly. And so it just, if it's somebody that's experienced, they're just like, listen, I've got this locked up. It's a really good deal. I just want you to blast it to your incredible buyers list. Then it would be less, we'd probably do like a 25% on that. But it just depends. Or if they want us to just buy it and send it out, we could do that too. It's case by case. But we've had situations where, we've taken over the whole entire thing. And then all of a sudden it has title issues. So then we're working on the title issues with the seller and the title company, and just putting in a lot of resources on my team. And for that, we should be compensated. There it is for that. So yeah, it's good. We love it. I mean, if you have any deals that you want to sell, our buyers list is bananas. We consistently get the most out of every single deal that we have. So if you're in the Phoenix area, Maricopa County, Pinal County, let us know.
Jeremy is unbelievable. Your dispo manager is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine. I love him. He's become a friend of mine because you guys have sold a bunch of deals for me.
Yep.
He's so smart with land as well. So if you guys ever have a question about comping land, Jeremy is one of the best in the country at it. Christy Frazier says, door knocking scares the shit out of me. Now, what is the good and the bad to that? I would say the good of that is that means more for me, more for Nita Patel, more for Brent Daniels, right?
Yep.
Would you say that the reason door knocking is so simple and effective is because most people feel this way?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the people will probably get 150 calls and they'll get like 2 people to the door. You know what I mean? And that's in a major market. In a smaller market, guys, I don't think anybody's going to the doors. I don't think that they're going. Scott loves it.
Yeah. I remember Scott got a deal.
Well, you got the best personality ever. So people are just like, yeah, so I'll sell you my house.
Yeah. I remember 5 years ago, he started door knocking with a partner. He's done a lot of deals with door knocking, but he got one deal. He's like, dude, I made 20 grand last week. I'm like, just starting out door knocking. He's like, yeah, you said door knock pre-foreclosure. So I went out and took a partner out there with me and we knocked doors and I got a sub 2 deal. I assigned for $20,000.
That's it. That's
Scott Garcia, guys. He does a lot of deals. You guys could definitely connect with him. He's in Arizona, so you might have a little bit of a challenge. Now, here's Chino Monte. He's in Vegas. Guys, there's so many people doing so many deals in the side chat today. So make sure that you guys are connecting with people in the side chat. Now, the house, Brent, says, how do you feel about SMS marketing?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that so it goes back to the 4 factors, right? What's your budget? What's your experience level? What's your schedule? And what's your market? And so I think if you're just starting out and you've got a low budget and you're working a full-time job, you can't really commit to, every single day coming home from work, you got kids running around and you got to get on the phones to try to call because you don't have a huge marketing budget. I think SMS is perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect in addition to posting every single day to Facebook that you buy houses, and maybe doing some very specific direct mail to specific lists would be the best bet for that. But I think, with SMS, they're going to restrict it and restrict it and restrict it and restrict it. So I think it's great for people that are just starting out building momentum. But I think to build a big business around it would be a huge mistake. And you've seen people get crushed in that strategy before. So don't hang your hat on it, but make it as part of your strategy to build momentum for sure. Because you could click a button, it sends out the text for you. You're responding to those. You've got a 45-minute hour window where you're responding. You can do it on your computer. Your kids are going bananas. You're cooking dinner. You're doing whatever else, and you're finding deals. You know what I mean? So I think it's great. I think it also, like, if you have an acquisition team and they need something to be doing in between calls or lead calls or appointments, I think that's a good strategy as well.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I also would say that when you're brand new, go and text on guys, me personally, I'll text from my personal cell phone. I know some people want to do it on a Google number. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay. I will text from my personal cell phone on a smaller list. So for example, let's take Maricopa County. Maricopa County only has 1,800 pre-foreclosures that are active right now. Okay. From 30 days late all the way until a day before the auction. I'm texting those people from my personal cell phone. Hey, my name is Pace. Here's a photo of me reaching out about what I know the bank is messing with you on your house. Just want to see if you've got it taken care of or if you need any help. Yeah. You send a text message to those 1,800 people every single month, you're getting deals. You are getting deals. And you could do that literally. You go, okay, I'm going to send 50 text messages today, 50 tomorrow, 50 the next day, 50 the next day, 50 the next day, 50 the next day. You stay consistent, you're getting deals. And what's great about that business model is that you can do it all in a 1 hour or 2 hour window. Now your follow-up might be challenging because you'll get people texting you back at weird times or whatever else. You just need to reply back and say, hey, I'm at my other business today, but I can reach out to you later tonight when I get off of work. Like people, it was interesting. People respond not just because you're a professional real estate investor. They respond because you care and you reached out, especially in a foreclosure. So I remember just trying things out. Okay. One of the most effective text message I've ever sent in order to get responses back from foreclosures has always been, hey, I'm not calling about buying your house. I just want to know if you need a personal loan to save your house from foreclosure.
Yep.
Okay. I'm getting a very specific response from that. Okay. My question is eliciting a very specific response. It wasn't always the one I wanted, but sometimes when I couldn't get somebody to reply to other text messages or calls, I would then hit them up for a personal loan. Effective. Okay. So why do I bring that up? I bring that up because I also started testing things out like, hey, I'm at my 9 to 5 today. But I saw the bank is messing around with your house and I'd love to chat with you when I get off work. What did that make people believe that I was reaching out? They believed that I was like a neighbor just down the street. And that would get a very specific response. And so I started testing from different cell phones at our office. One about, hey, we'll give you a personal loan. Another text message from a concerned neighbor. Another one as a professional investor. They all work. Okay. They all work. Ooh. Copland.
Copland. The biggest risk is your family and friends hitting you up for too much money. They see you going balling out and they're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that is a problem.
Listen, the beautiful thing about wholesaling is you have the opportunity to purchase the property and do something and flip it and hold it. Or you have the opportunity to do something called assign it. You can assign your rights. As soon as you have an agreement, a purchase agreement with that property owner, you're the only entity that can purchase that, or person, if you don't have a business set up yet, that can purchase that property. And so people will pay you for that right to purchase that property, and it's called an assignment fee. And so they'll give you an assignment fee, and you have a window of opportunity to find people, if you're looking to assign that deal, to sell that deal to, or sell the paper to, or the opportunity to. And if you can't, you can renegotiate with the property owner, you can cancel, or you can continue and buy it yourself, assuming it's a really great deal. But if you get a really great opportunity, you're going to sell that and make a great profit. So the risk isn't, you don't have as many risks as if you were buying it and putting money into it or borrowing money to buy it. You risk the relationship that you have with the property owner if you can't perform. You could risk earnest money depending on how much earnest money you put down, and if you don't understand what the agreement says. But the agreement should be pretty straightforward for everybody, the property owner and you, and it should be explained. And that's the roadmap for the transaction is your purchase agreement. So from a risk standpoint, not a tremendous amount compared to flips and or short-term or long-term hold, because you're not owning the property, you're just owning the right to purchase the property. So it's a great way to get into the real estate business. That's less risky from a financial standpoint and attention standpoint.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I would add people that don't understand when to spend money on marketing have a tremendous amount of risk.
Yes.
I always tell people, Brent tells people the same thing, like pick up the phone, cold call with your own phone, start basic, do JV deals, do door knocking, spend very limited amount of money. I see people go hire like 5 VAs and like get a lead manager and go spend money on CRMs and $10,000 on lead costs. Guys, those are the expenses of a business that's running $200,000 a month through their books every single month. You have to elevate to that. And so I'll see people go watch a YouTube video that says, I use virtual assistants. Guess what? We do too, right? So then they hear that and they go, okay, that's how I generate leads, without doing all their research and watching 10 or 15 other lead generation videos. They'll go spend a bunch of money and go, man, all I've done is spend a bunch of money in wholesaling and I haven't made $1. That is a tremendous risk that you will have in wholesale. I would say that 90% of people should start in wholesale trying to JV or doing free lead generation strategies. Okay. Mm-hmm. Working for pre-foreclosures, knocking doors, cold calling on your personal phone, maybe spending less than a couple $100 a month on a dialer. Those types of things are the way to go. Go after pre-foreclosures. Go after a smaller list that is more, motivated than just going out to everybody, right? And I see people spend too much money on marketing in the very beginning before they get their not their motivation, but before they get their acumen up and before they get their ability to negotiate up to a certain level. You're spending bad money. You're not doing a good job there. So I would say that's the biggest risk. I'll see brand new people spend $7,000 in their first month of marketing. I'm like, no. Now, my first month in the business, I spent $5,000 in marketing because I didn't know Brent Daniels. Okay. What I did, this was back in 2014, 15. Okay. My first month in like actually spending money in the business. I spent $5,000 in postcard money and I got multiple deals. How did I get multiple deals? Is because in the very beginning, I had a mentor. Her name was Bethany. And Bethany would go on appointments with me. She would show me how to do the paperwork. She showed me all of those things. And so from day one, I believed if I'm going to do this and I'm going to spend money, I am not going to rely on my own understanding. I'm going to lean on somebody else. So people that are doing this solo dolo and watching it all on YouTube, it's good to be inspirational for you, but you need to lock arms with somebody who's actively doing the business.
Love it. I want to ask the audience a question, and I need participation because, Pace, you and I and Jamil get this question all the time, and that is, if we had to start all over and you had to do it with no budget or a little budget, what would you do? Right? We get that question all the time, and it's a great question. I want to know from the audience what you would do if you didn't get a deal in the next 7 days, you get sent to prison. Prison, not like jail, but prison for a year. If you don't get a deal that you can make income off of in the next week, you go to jail for a year. What would you do? What would you do?
I know exactly what I would do.
Put it in the chat. Guys, put it in the chat. Pace will warm us up here. But,
I'll tell you what I would do if I'm in Arizona.
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat, guys.
Let's say you got $1,000.
I don't even need.
I know you don't, but they want a budget in this thing. So
they want 1,000.
We're gonna keep putting parameters on this.
This is so easy, guys. Okay. It's called bird dogging. Okay. And the difference between wholesaling and bird dogging is that wholesaling, you might be going out to a list of buyers. Bird dogging is you are literally bringing that bird back to one hunter. Okay. Who is that hunter? Well, what I would do is I use Privy for a lot of stuff. So I'd go on Privy. Start with privy.com, go on Privy, identify people that are actively buying houses in the market, call them up and go, I want to find you a deal today. Are you actively buying? I want to find you a deal. Where are you trying to buy? And then guess where I would go? I would go to Keegley.com. I would look up their active properties and I would try and get those deals wholesaled to my buyer.
Yep.
It's crazy how many buyers don't know that Keegley.com is a thing. I would also go online and I would type in cash buyers. Okay. Because cash buyers that have websites are not actual cash buyers. Those are wholesalers. So I would call those wholesalers and go, what do you have in your inventory? I would get a hold of Brent Daniels. I would get a hold of Jeremy as disposition. Go, tell me every deal you have. I'd get a hold of Spencer Caldwell. Tell me every deal you have. And then I would go to my gentleman I called on Privy and go, hey, I've got 7 deals that I want to send to you. In a week's time of me sending him opportunities, I'm getting 3 deals, 2 deals, 1 deal. Guaranteed. I have no problem with that. The people that are buying are already there.
Yep.
The people that already have deals are already there. They're called wholesalers. For me to JV on the deal, super easy. That's one way I would do it. I would also.
What if you had to go direct to property owner or
expired
agent?
listings? Yep. Right now, I would spend $358 on Vulcan 7. Vulcan 7. I don't have a code for it or anything. Vulcan 7 is phenomenal. It will give me the expired listings every morning, fresh expired listings, 30 to 40 of them a day in Maricopa County. And I'm calling property owners that fired their agent yesterday. And I'm saying, hey, my name is Pace. Looks like you fired your real estate agent. I'm calling because I'm an actual buyer. Guess what they haven't had in 6 months? A
buyer.
So
a ready, willing, and able buyer. The one thing the agent is hired for.
And I would say, hey, I'd love to meet up with you today and give you a couple of different offers.
What if they want too much, Pace? What if
seller finance?
What would you hit them with? What would you say to them?
I would say, oh my gosh, I could say a whole bunch of stuff, but
Right.
what I say in the first phone call on an expired listing is, and actually guys, this week we have the Elephant Challenge and all we're doing is expired listings, elephantchallenge.info. And you'll see us actually calling expired listings this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week. So you'll see me actually talk to people by using Vulcan 7, reaching out to the sellers. And I would say, hey, my name's Pace. Saw you fired your real estate agent yesterday. I'll make this quick. I need to buy a deal this week. I'm a real estate investor. I'd like to give you an offer. Is there a chance we could meet today?
Guys, Vulcan 7 does give you the phone numbers already.
And
I used it as an
quality.
agent. It was gangster. I used to call expireds to try to relist them. And will you hire,
Yep.
when are you going to hire the right agent for the job of selling your home, the whole thing, right?
And what's great is that
but
you are
to turn
not
it
calling-
around as the buyer, I mean,
Mhm.
it's perfect. And
they don't
and-
want to
and
hear
you
from
should
another
be.
agent. And you tell them, it looks like you fired your agent. I would have fired your agent too. I'm a buyer. I'm not
I'm a
even
buyer.
and I would tell them straight up, this is the advantage you have as a buyer. I'm not a licensed real estate agent. I'm an actual real estate investor. I'd like to give you 3 offers today. One where I give you cash, one where I ask for seller finance, and one where I partner with you on the deal and we flip the house together. You might turn down 2 of them. You might turn down all 3 of them, but can I at least offer them to you today? I'd love to stop by and see the house.
Guys, Vulcan 7, literal 7. Don't type out the word 7. It's a 7.com. Vulcan 7. Yep.
Yep.
You'll find it. You can't miss it if you put it into Google.
Yep.
And it's nationwide.
Nationwide, $358, I think, a month. It gives you all the phone numbers. The skip tracing is high quality. It is like is phenomenal. And
so they go, I want, let's call it 450. And you see it and you're like, listen, like it's worth 400 if it's fixed up. It's not even fixed up. Then what?
Here's the beautiful thing about expired
real
listings.
estate. I know where you're going and I'm pumped, dude.
Yeah.
I love this.
The beautiful thing about expired listings is that house has been on the market for 6 months and the buyer, no buyer has actually given them the offer they wanted. And so I don't have to tell them that their house is not worth what they thought it was worth. Somebody has already told them that for 6 months.
Yep.
And so the conversation with an expired listing is a lot easier than somebody who just listed their property a week ago, where I'm doing direct to agent and I'm trying to convince an agent to lowball their seller for me. So I tell the seller, I go, look, I'm sure you probably got lowball offers that you probably did not accept those. I also will be giving you a lowball offer because I obviously want to make money, but I will also be giving you a full price offer that will include seller finance. Are you open to that? Do you know what that is? And then I start the conversation, and that could go one of 1,000 different ways.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, listen, you can buy a house. You could give people high prices if they work with you on terms. You can give them great terms if they work with you on price. Remember, it comes down to 3 things: price, terms, and you. And you, do they want to do business with you? Do they trust that you are going to get the job done? And for bonus points, guys, put in the chat here, who determines value? Who determines value?
The buyer.
Bonus points. That's it. A ready, willing, and able buyer.
Wait, hold on. I thought appraisers did that, Brent.
I thought the government did it.
Yeah, didn't they do that to Donald Trump last week or something?
Isn't it? Oh, well, yeah, that's a whole different conversation, isn't it? How about it's probably the banks do it, right?
Yeah.
It's probably the who else is in the mix? Oh, yeah, of course. The number 1, real estate agents.
Yeah. Real estate agents. Yeah, we had an agent that today we were talking to him. His name is Josh. Shout out to Josh. Called this agent on behalf of one of my students. By the way, everybody in sub 2, if you are newer to sub 2, every Thursday morning we do live expired listing training where we call expired listings live, and more importantly, pair up with each other and build teams around expired listings. We do foreclosures on Friday. We do low equity on Monday. We do high equity on Wednesday. We do other strategy. We do 5 strategies a week live. Okay. So if you are trying to build a team, join a team, just go into one of those Zooms. All right. Now, the interesting thing is I'm talking to Josh, the agent, listed the property for $570. His property is now worth $530 because it's on the market for 530. That's, he says, well, I go, 530 seems like it's a little bit off. I'm going to submit an offer tonight. Where are you guys going to be out of, if I came a little bit lower, what's the feeling? He goes, well, the property's worth 579. I'm like, no, that's what you listed it for 4 months ago and you didn't get an offer. That's why you're listed at 530. He goes, no, I'm willing to take a haircut on it because I'm not getting any activity. Mm-hmm. Then your house is not worth 579. Guys, you will run into agents that will say stupid things like that. Okay.
Yep.
Nicole says, Pace, I need your privy code. Every code like Vulcan 7, I think you get a discount if you tell them Pace. Same thing with privy. You get a discount if you tell them Pace. Okay. Pace, what's your WhatsApp, bro? I don't know. What's WhatsApp? Is that the messaging thing that Android people use?
I think it is.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all, we just use iPhones around here. Okay. All the technology your WhatsApp does, we just use it in our iPhones. It's native to our iPhone. Okay. But the buyer determines the purchase price, nobody else. And so on an expired listing, it is truly the best. If you drop me in Oklahoma, I don't need a week. I need 10 hours. One thing that we're doing, we came up with this really fun challenge. Okay. Ooh, I love this question, by the way, that is coming up next. In October, my community is going to be doing a 0 to hero challenge where 250 of our leaders in 250 cities are going to be picking a newbie in every market. So we're going to help 250 newbies that have never done a deal before. We will be doing a 7-day challenge where 250 leaders, we call them heroes, will take 250 zeros, people have done 0 deals, and transform their life by doing this challenge. We're going to be one-on-oneing in 250 different markets, and you will be able to watch all 250 people simultaneously. That sounds crazy, but it's something we're working on. What do you think one of the main lead generation sources is going to be? Expired listings is going to be the number one thing because you get free leads every single morning, fresh.
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, 200 to 1. You talk to 200 people that own ugly houses or in ugly situations, and one of them will do business with you, minimum, depending on your skills, depending on your market. It could be
you're saying minimum as in like, I'm actually not good at this at all. I'm brand new this week. If I had 200 conversations,
stumble and fumble and screw up everything, and you will still close that deal.
Yes.
Yeah. 200. That's the problem. Most people have never talked to 200 people about anything, any strangers about it, not like individually.
Dang it. Why have I never thought about that? Most people have never talked to anybody about anything 200 times in their life.
Right. Not that's just like a customer service type of thing. When you're being proactive and going out there, I mean, it's the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago, Pace, where the absolute stats are panhandlers, people that stand out on the side of the street and ask for money, make more money than the average realtor.
Is it because they talk to people?
Because they talk to people. Because they listen, they're out there, they're promoting.
Yeah.
They're having a lot of, they're watching my YouTube channel. They're sharpening their skills, they're getting good at it, and they're going out there and asking, but it's the absolute fact. I think in Phoenix, they average like $65,000 a year. It might be up now with inflation. Who knows?
Wow.
It might be, but it's absolutely the truth, because they will stand in the middle of 115 degrees and ask for money. And real estate agents and budding, young, beautiful, ambitious entrepreneurs won't pick up the phone and talk to strangers, won't initiate conversations, won't go on and get every expired and call them up, or go out and knock on all the doors, or go out and find all the rough looking houses in the neighborhood and go and try to have a conversation with them. If you boil down this business, it's conversations and offers. Good, man.
Pandit, you've got a question. I'll let Brent gather this question up while I answer this. Pandit says, Pace, is there a link for the Zooms of every day of the week you mentioned? Sub 2 has 39 Zooms a week. We do over 14 hours of live support every single day. everything from live underwriting to live lead generation to watching other people make calls to other people operating. We do a lot of business buying in Sub 2. We have this thing called Zero Down where we buy businesses creatively. In fact, tonight's episode right after Wholesale Hotline of Get Creative, the name of my podcast. By the way, we're number 1 in the United States in the marketing category, the number 1 podcast in the United States in marketing category, Get Creative. We will be talking about buying businesses live tonight. We have one of my Sub 2 students that has bought a business with no money down. A lot of them are buying a lot of businesses with creative finance. So all of those Zooms are available to Sub 2 students. All you have to do is go to the Sub 2 calendar. Okay. And it's in the featured section in the Facebook group.
It's so critical, and something that I learned from you, Pace. I mean, we do the same. I mean, we're 10 hours a day in the Rhino tribe doing something, whether it's hardcore training and workshops, whether it's making calls live. We have the Empty the Clip challenge where we talk to 100 property owners in one day. One day. It's absolute banana. You want to build up your endurance on talking to people. That's where it's at. And you have to. I mean, this is if you're involved in any kind of coaching and training, and there's not a ridiculous amount of support and to get your questions answered in this era of real estate coaching and training, it's you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out tremendously. And I know that the Astro and Sub 2 and Wholesaling Inc. students all have access to each other, and it's you see an explosion of success because again, you become the people that you surround yourself with. You become who you associate with. That's what it is. So,
the house says, Pace, how can we be one of those 250 people you guys will be doing the one-on-one with? We are only doing it internally inside of our community. We will be broadcasting it to the industry and showing everybody live that challenge. You can see it. But what we are doing is our Sub 2 leaders in our Sub 2 community are going to be picking Sub 2 newbies that have just joined recently and taking them by the hand and pulling them through their first deal. And we have requirements. This is going to happen in October. We're currently planning it. It's going to be massive, like massively massive. It's going to be the best and biggest challenge real estate has ever seen. What we will end up doing after the challenge is done is creating a list of all the leaders and all of the people that are brand new, and then video links to every single one of them working every single day for a week so that you can see everything they documented. You will have 250 people documenting how they're helping 250 people for 7 straight days chronological on one big Google Drive link, a Google Sheet link. You'll go, oh, video 1 in New England, video 2 in Chicago, video 3 and you will have a massive list. And so we're going to create that in October, and our community is going to just show everybody what you can do as a united front. So should be a lot of fun. How are we selecting them? You got to be in the community, but you also have to be active. We're going to be taking people that are top contributors in the Facebook group that are active. And then the leaders of each city will choose the newbies in their individual city to work with.
Are you going to be moving any of the stuff over to school, Pace?
No, I will not be moving anything to school. Alex Hermosi and I are friends. He sent me a text multiple times saying, move to school. I am not moving to school. Why? Because school costs a monthly fee. I do like school. I think some of its features are awesome, but also Kajabi Communities has just launched, and it will, in my opinion, in the next year, rival what school brings to the table. And it keeps your community at a free thing where you're not charging them monthly. I know our community would pay a monthly fee to stay in Sub 2 and Gator, but I prefer not to go that route if I can avoid it.
I thought you had to pay, not the community.
No,
has that changed? I'll have to check in that, because we were making that transition because it seems like I've got some training right now in a coaching that I'm involved in, and it's been phenomenal. It's been really interesting.
This is the best question of the day. Nicole says, is your mustache itchy? Yeah, actually,
always.
When it gets to this length, what happens is your hair starts poking you back in your face when it's at this length. I got to go like another week before my hair gets soft enough that it's not pumping me or hitting me right back in the face. Why does Brent only wear baby Gap shirts? Here's the reason. They're extra large shirts, JT. The problem is every shirt on this guy's freaking guns looks like a baby Gap shirt. Okay.
This is an extra large shirt.
Yeah, and we almost bought him a freaking parachute to wear, but he even shreds those with his guns too. Okay.
I mean, I guess I could just go tank top. Just
Yeah.
call it, you know.
Do you have a hairy
call it done.
chest?
No, but it's not like bald like a tortoiseshell or anything. It's
I never thought about a tortoiseshell being bald. I like that.
It's kind of wispy. Yeah. I don't know who Brett is, but he sounds cool.
Oh, Brett. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, some people have asked, where is Jamil today?
Yep.
Jamil had some sort of like tooth surgery today, and he's under anesthesia, and so he is kind of knocked out. We miss him today, but that's the beautiful thing about being in the Three Amigos is that you can cover for each other. And by the way, how did everybody like last week's episode with Anne Marie and Laura? Was that cool? Did you guys like that? Awesome. I watched the whole episode. I was in there talking crap the whole time.
Absolutely awesome.
Okay, cool. Can't be. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Sharon K says Vulcan 7 annual plan. If you buy annually, is $297 a month, $313 for 6-month plan. If that's not good, not too expensive. I think with skip tracing included and the software and the CRM, that's incredibly inexpensive. Okay. So, I think if you use code PACE, you should save some money. At least tell them that we sent you. I don't get paid for that, but see if they'll give you a hookup.
You should talk to them. They've been a good company. They've been around a long time. I haven't even thought to reach out to them, but I think you're right. I think that with the expireds, especially if you're interested in creative finance deals, for sure, because they want to sell their property. Agents don't know creative solutions, and it's no fault of them. They've never been trained on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty much all the same, either a cash offer or a conventional offer coming from a bank and appraisals and inspections and the whole thing. But if you can provide a good creative solution, I think that, I mean, I'm sure your community's just fish in a barrel with those.
JT says, what's your prediction on interest rates this year? You know, it's funny. Everybody that's a real estate agent or a broker is going to tell you interest rates are going to go down. And what's interesting is, even though rates have flatlined, and they are above 7% right now, just FYI, because everybody's saying, oh, they're below 6, they're coming down. No, actually, interest rates went up last month. Just so you guys know, look at the chart. Interest rates went up last month. We are over 7% currently in mortgage rates. What is happening? People are still buying houses, my friends. Things are happening. Low inventory still. Okay. I think what's going to happen is the Fed is going to continue to tease people that rates are going to come down. But as long as the economy stays as strong as it is, like you'll go on YouTube right now and you'll see all the people talking about more. How many years do we have to watch people talk about the market crashing? And it's like a daily video. In fact, I want to pull this guy up that literally every video he makes has fire in the background. If I just type in market crash, this dude pops up every freaking time. You got to see this guy. It is literally every single time. And there's fire. It's red. It's this, that, and the other.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me pull this up real fast. You guys will like this. Let's pull this up. You guys guys, get in the game. The cool thing about real estate is that you can make money in wholesaling no matter what the heck is going on. Okay. So number one, this guy has never made a positive post in his entire life. Okay. I'm not talking negative about him. I'm just letting you know that this is the state of what we deal with, where people like Michael Borden. Okay. Looming crisis. You show me a video.
It is another nice
this guy has ever made that has been a positive video. Out of control. Don't even bother. Everyone gets a check. It's really happening. Confidence is falling. No one is buying. We need to sell. Guys, he's a really intelligent guy. He makes really great videos. What I love about it is he literally just walks around the neighborhood. It doesn't have any editors helping him out at all. And he crushes it. But look at this. He is fear-mongering. No, that's not the right word. He is appealing to people's like very basic human nature, which is, I'm afraid of everything. Tell me how bad things are going to go so I can protect myself. Has anybody seen one positive video on here? How to make money? Notice this, guys. Not one person that is one of these negative guys. By the way, he has a mullet. It looks like he guy's super cool. Not one person that is the negative fear-mongering type will ever make a video that tells you how to make money in an up, down, left, or right market. Okay? They won't tell you. They're not going to tell you how to
Well,
make money.
apparently the country bit.
Be careful. Be careful of who you take advice from. But I'll tell you, I think rates will come down.
This is how he's telling us to make money in any market. Make videos that scare people.
Yeah, because he makes 100 on 147,000 views. He's making about,
it's probably $1,000.
Yeah, he makes about $1,000 per video. So if he's doing one video every other day, he's making $15,000, $20,000 a month.
There you go.
Cool. Awesome. He is articulate. He's very smart. I do respect him. I actually have messaged him multiple times and I said, hey, come on my show. I'd love to chat with you. He hasn't replied. Doesn't mean that he's a bad guy. It just means that he hasn't replied. And we've attempted him and some other people as well. There's guys that are way worse. Everything literally in their background is fire coming up. You're going to hear this for the rest of your life. Don't pay attention to those people unless they are telling you how to make money. If they say market is crashing, here's how I would make money. And they actually have real tangible proof that they can make money and they have an address and an example of how to make money. Guys, the good thing about wholesale is, Brent, is there a time in real estate trends, markets, cycles where I cannot make money in wholesaling real estate?
No. Listen, good markets, bad markets, flat markets. Do you still have to have conversations and make offers? Yes. Everybody should be nodding their heads. Yes. There's opportunities in every market. The last big time crash, like the big crash, and people don't, I mean, we talk about it, but some people haven't lived like really remember it. Was a huge crash. The financial crisis of 2008 changed everything for a long time. And so everybody's kind of either scared of it or they don't really know. And even during that time, Pace and I have tremendous amount of friends that built their whole fortune when the market went totally in the toilet. I mean, they bought all the properties when they were like 10 cents on the dollar. And then 10 years later, they sell it all and they're multi-millionaires. And most of them raised funds. It wasn't even their funds. So it's like the other thing, the other thing, Pace, is we've got 331.9 million people as of 2021 in this country. Back in 2010, we had 209. Okay. That's 22 million more people. And if you look at the stats, Google it right now. Google new home builds by decade. New home builds by decade. And you will see a chart that shows most decades from the 70s up until 2010, there was 25 million properties built every decade. From 2010 to 2020, there was 5.8 million. Not 25 million, 5.8 million. Plus, there's 22 million more people. It is a supply and demand. It's supply and demand. I mean, that's economics. That's economics 101. Look what's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to go to the halving next month, and everybody's going bananas. It's at the highest it's ever been. There it is. Thank you, Pace. Look at that. 25 million, 25 million, 25 million since the 70s. Over 25 million to 5.8. And guess what happened as soon as they started rebounding? Pandemic. Supply chain went down. 2x4s cost $13,000. It's crazy. This is real, guys. This is what you have. Decent interest rates. And some people would say that we're on the borderline unaffordable. Maybe not. People are still buying. And now you have a lack of properties to purchase, and the biggest group of purchasers, home buyers coming to the market in millennials. It's bananas. It's supply and demand. We're in the best business ever. Think about buying and holding right now. Think about building your portfolio right now. Think about buying properties right now that you're going to hold for the next 20, 30, 40 years that you can pass on. Think about the appreciation of that. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be absolutely bananas.
Yeah, it is. My portfolio manager, Bo, wants me to sell a lot of my single family properties and roll them into larger multifamily properties. And I'm having a hard time. I'm like, dude, if I hold my single family stuff for another 3 or 4 years, the appreciation is going to be insanity.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but if you sell them and roll them right now and get into multifamily, we're getting a ton of seller finance deals. We got a deal in Tennessee, a 221 unit, 100% seller finance deal, 100% seller finance multifamily deal. The seller's like, I won't even have you make me payments until you get it fully renovated. He got in over his head. He was a doctor that bought this property. This happens all the time. That's like the majority of the multifamily deals we're doing. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? The fact is there's so much opportunity in the marketplace right now. Wholesaling, fixing and flipping, buying and holding, single family, dirt wholesaling, my mobile home parks, guys. Oh my gosh. I bought a mobile home park from a TTP student 4 years ago. I overpaid $100,000, but I also put no money down and 0% interest. That mobile home park, I've been so patient with that thing. It was making $4,500 a month net. I just kept putting the $4,500 back into renovating the park and increasing rents. I'm now at like about $11,000 a month net, and I've got 7 more units to replace. And once I'm at that point, I'll be at like $21,000 a month net on one RV park. And then my team's like, let's sell it and then compound to the next deal. I'm like, but the thing is good. Why? And they're like, dude, there's just so much opportunity everywhere we turn. Everywhere you turn, there's opportunity. Now think about this, the immigrant crisis too. Okay. Think about the opportunity. Now, whether you like it, you hate it, it doesn't matter. You can't stop it. Politicians are going to run your life for the rest of your life. They're going to make decisions. You can't do anything about their decision-making. What you can do is if they create a wave, you can figure out how to ride it. What's going to be a massive opportunity over the next 20 years? Massive. Co-living, pad split. Wholesaling to people that are co-living and doing pad splits. It's becoming like 20% of all of our exit strategy is taking single family homes and turning them into rent by the room, 6 people in the house.
Especially older places with no HOAs.
Oh my gosh.
Wide open.
Yes.
Where do I find properties for pad split? Older properties, no HOA. Older properties, no HOA. Yep.
Older properties, no HOA. You will absolutely crush pad split and co-living. Why? Well, because in the next 20 years, what do you think is going to continue to happen to affordability? Think about this. The average rent in the United States hovers around $1,500 a month. Okay. In larger metros, it's over $2,000. We're talking about a 2-bed, 1-bath type of little thing. Okay. Average rent's $1,500. That's not including utilities, not including internet, not including anything else. If somebody comes and rents a room from one of my pad split homes, their rent is $825. Utilities included, internet included, cleaning included, $825 a month. It's half the price with none of the extra stuff. So it might even be closer to like 40% of the average price. People are going to be moving into smaller homes because of affordability. Do you think all of a sudden we're going to magically fix the wage problem in the United States and all of a sudden corporations are going to start paying a lot more money to people? Or do you think that inflation is going to continue to go up, affordability is going to continue to go down, and people are going to continually be pinched into renting? It's been happening. Okay, it's been happening. And you also look at the lack of homes being built. Do you think some of that is happenstance? Yes, of course. But do you think also some of it is very strategic, where they go, guys, let's hold back. Okay, do you know the story about the light bulb back in like the 1800s, how all the light bulb companies got together and they basically conspired to raise the prices of light bulbs 700%? Guys, this stuff is happening behind closed doors. Builders, Shea Homes, Toll Brothers, all these big builders are communicating with each other. They're all golfing with each other. There's photos of all these guys getting together and going to St. Bart's and hanging out. The CEOs of the largest builders in the country are all hanging out and doing masterminds together. And they're talking about how fast you're building, what you're doing, how are you doing, what's this happening. Let's hold back our inventory. Let's hold back our permits. Let's hold back our projects because we can build less houses, but make twice as much money. Real estate is going to go like crazy. Wholesale, fixing and flipping, buying and holding. You will make millions and millions of dollars.
Just find the opportunities. That's the art. That's the skill. Find the opportunities.
Yes, this is what it was. Oh, this is so good. Dustin Seiler says light bulbs also used to last forever until they got to go watch a YouTube video about this, guys.
Yeah.
There is absolute manipulation at the top of the food chain. You can either complain about it, sit there and watch it happen, or go, how do I monetize and take care of my family, take care of my team, take care of my company? Okay. Yeah, check this out. Arij says, my friends, I paid $2,500 on a single bed bath right now.
Yeah.
Eddie Charger, look forward to hanging out with you on April 6th in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to be doing
Eddie's
a million acts of kindness. I love Eddie Charger. Yeah, a lot of people. Ooh, okay. This is an interesting one, Brent. I like this one. Christy says, kind of off topic, but I receive mailers every week from buyers wanting to buy my house. Should I call them and try and do deals with them?
It's cash buyers. Yeah. It's other wholesalers. It's other people that you can sell your deals to for sure. So yeah, call them up. Yeah, have that conversation for sure. And see what their process is. That's what I like doing. I like seeing if they actually answer the phone. And if they answer it live, is it the person that actually works there? Or is it a call center? And are they reading off of a computer and just tap, 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 tap on their keyboard? Or are they taking notes with a pen and paper? I mean, I'd like to know other people's processes, especially the ones that make millions and millions and millions here in our marketplace that spend millions and millions and millions to be able to do it. But I love calling them up and seeing how they do their business. Some of them are wonderful and some of them are like shockingly terrible. Yeah. Pad split. Listen, it's making a multifamily out of a single family. Essentially. Right. It's like a co-op.
Well, I only have 6 right now. What I did last year is I met Atticus, the owner of Pad Split. We brought in like 7 training modules into Sub 2 to teach people how to go and deploy their Sub 2s into co-living. And I said, all right, I'm going to go try this myself. I'm going to go do 1 or 2 of these. I did 1 or 2. My first one was on 4101 West Flower Street in Phoenix, Arizona. It did really, really well. So we decided to do it on another one. I actually had a deal that I bought in it was a bad time I bought the deal. And I tried to do the burst strategy. Is why I hate the burst strategy. The interest rates go up in the middle of the project. I completely hammered. I got $100,000 tied up in this stupid thing. The question back earlier of like, what are the risks associated with this business? Not a lot when you're wholesaling, a lot when you are buying and holding. There's a lot of risk associated. So I converted that to Pad Split. Both of those houses are now performing. So I went out in the last 4 months and bought 4 more Pad Splits. I think I'll buy probably another 4 to 10 this year, just in Maricopa County. I really like the exit strategy. The challenge with Pad Split is like what Brent said, HOAs don't love them. And I don't want the headache with HOAs. And so we are focusing, by the way, Atlanta, Georgia, Eddie, where Eddie's at, is the #1 Pad Split location in the country. The more Pad Splits are going on in Atlanta, Georgia than anywhere freaking else. Okay. So look it up, go to padsplit.com, or I think there's like a discount code. If you go to splityourpad.com, you get a discount code, but you're only getting a discount on Pad Split if you are turning your property into a Pad Split. So most people in this audience are not going to use that. This is cool. Scott Garcia says, I lived in one of the rooms and rented out the other 4 rooms when I was single. I traveled the world with the money.
Yep.
Awesome.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, Scott, where'd you go?
Turkey, Egypt, Hungary, Japan, Hawaii. Awesome. You need to write a book. Yeah. Scott's the best. Yeah, listen, it's, there's so many different strategies under the real estate investing umbrella. Pick one when you're getting started and stay focused, build it up, build your momentum, build your skills. Cause again, skills build the mindset. Skills build up your mindset. And so, make sure that you're taking action every single day and having conversations and making offers and connecting with people that are doing this business. There are tremendous communities right in front of you that you can join and be a part of and participate. And some of them require admission. Some of them don't. Find the one that resonates with you and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, and go all in with it. But remember, be a go-giver. Read this book, listen to it on Audible, go through it again and again and again, and realize that you have to give before you can really, really receive. That's the whole rule. That's how it all works. It's a circular motion here. So,
Chandra says, "What is pad split, guys? Go to YouTube, type in Pace Morby pad split, and I've got like 4 or 5 videos on it. They're really, really good. I actually walk through some of the properties I own pad split on the channel. One thing I want to point out as well, there's a difference between, check this out. Chandra, who's newer to the channel, she's watching right now from Facebook. By the way, Chandra, it's way more fun over on YouTube. Come over on YouTube. So you guys know we have about 500 people watching live. Depending on where you're watching, you might have 200 people in your area. If you are on the Wholesale Hotline YouTube channel, you've got not a lot of people, right? If you are on Pace Morby's Facebook group, you have 36 people. So depending on what avenue you choose to watch, you'll have more people to connect with and hang out with, etc. The difference between Chandra and Cat Craig 33 is she is connecting with other people in the community. Jake Villaret is one of our leaders in Sub 2 and Gator, and Kat has become partners with Jake in her pad split opportunity. So connect with each other, hang out with each other, love on each other, give to each other, help each other out. Brent Daniels, what do you have going on this week, brother?
That's it. Going to put out a YouTube series on the 10 best lists to go after. If you're going to be proactive and you're going to go after the property owners, you got to be very, very, very targeted in who you go after. Expired being one of those on the top 10. And we're really excited about it. So if you have not subscribed to all of our YouTube channels, make sure that you do. Brent Daniels on YouTube, Pace Morby, and Jamil Damji on YouTube. Check us out at Wholesale Hotline on all of the podcast networks and platforms, and Wholesaling Inc. I've got an incredible podcast with Wholesaling Inc. on those platforms as well. If you want to get really, really, really nitty gritty on wholesaling real estate, so check it out. How about you, Pace?
I've got the Elephant Challenge this week, which is a 3-day challenge. We do it every month, and it is at elephantchallenge.info. Now, the Elephant Challenge is us actively working with each other and pairing non-students with my leader students inside of Sub 2, Gator, and Top Tier TC, and helping out everybody get their first deal. We see so many people get their first deal in this challenge. It's a lot of fun. We do it every month. I turned it off for like 4 months because my wife was having a baby. I wanted to focus on that. And it was like people were up in arms, bring it back. I got all my momentum from that. So if you are not in one of our communities, feel free to come in and join the Elephant Challenge. You will be paired up with somebody who is in our community. And we'll see you guys on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for elephantchallenge.info. Guys, awesome. Episode 210. Go DM Jamil and tell him we miss him. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.